Well, the prelims for UFC on ESPN plus 118 are they're very good. But we have just unfortunately lost a fight. Yes, we were due to have 8 prelims, but now we get 7. I mean, it's still 7 good fights. You know what I mean? We go from 14 overall to 13. So, yes, we lost the... Oh, which one was it? It was the welterweight clash between Jonathan Metcalf and Oban Elliott, right? The captain no longer faces the Welsh gangster. Elliott had to withdraw due to sickness, right? So, let's get underway at these prelims. We start things off with the strawweights, right? We have Luana Lookboonmee against Alexia Thainara, I think. Unfortunately, people, I am not like the great Kenny Florian. I am not a linguist. I'm more a lingnit. You know what I mean? Right, so Alexia Thainara Bogashna, she is 27, 5'4", 6'7". She has a 12-1 record overall. She's currently on a 10-fight win streak. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? Came via the Contender Series and won her debut and won it very well, right? She beat Molly McCann in March this year. Got her in a rear naked choke in the first round. Like, she basically ran through Molly. That was Molly's retirement fight, you know? Yeah, she was very frigging good, you know? Yeah, on the Contender Series, she got a decision, unanimous decision. That was September 2024. When you look at her record, right, she does have submission is the way she's ending most fights, right? If they're going to a decision, you know what I mean? If they're not going to a decision, she's getting a sub. And the rear naked choke does seem to be her favored sub. You know, she does have a few arm bars as well, but it is the rear naked that is the one for her, right? And she's already showed it off on the big stage, you know what I mean? So, on the other side of the cage, you know, she is going at Loma Lookboonmee, who, Lookboonmee is tremendous. And it's crazy to think, right, how much she has changed since her debut, right? She debuted in October 2019 and got a split decision over Alessandra Albu. And then she fought Angela Hill February 2020. And I kind of thought she won the Angela Hill fight. That was very close. But after that, you know what I mean? She really was something against Jinyu Fry, Sam Hughes, and you just saw her change her style and the way she fight, just everything. She has now really perfected, but she came from kickboxing, Muay Thai, yeah, and she's great, right? She's 29, 5'1", got a 61.5-inch reach. She's got a 10-3 record overall, and she's currently on a 4-fight win streak. So she is 7-2 in the UFC. Went 2-0 in Invicta. We last saw her April this year, where she beat Estela Nunes. That was a good one. She only fought once last year. She beat Bruna Brazil in 2024, February. And the same in 2023. She fought February 2023, literally a year before the 2024 fight, right? She beat Alessi Reed by rear naked choke. Same in 2022, only once, beat Denise Gomez, which that is the thing that has hurt Lookboonmee in recent times. It's her inactivity. You know, only fighting once a year can definitely hurt you. Now, obviously, that's not, down to her, right? Injuries, stuff like that can really get in the way of things, But this is a good fight, right? As I said, I like Lookboonmee. I think she's great. I'm always down to back her. But, Alexia, she's really fucking good. Right? She is really good. Now, Lookboonmee has definitely worked on her takedown defense. But I have a feeling that Alexia will still get one, right? So, I think Alexia might get the win. I'd loathe to bet against Lookboonmee, but I'm going to take Alexia Thainara for the win this time out. So then we move to the heavyweight division. And we've got Brando, Peričić v. Elisha, Ellison. So, Snake Panther, Elisha, Ellison. I feel I am, butchering this name. But, yes. Now, he is the first of our debuting fighters. And we have got quite a few debuting fighters, people, and a few on the prelims. He's all the stats I've got is he's 28. There's nothing else on Tapology. He's 28. Okay. Snake Panther is the nickname. He's currently 5-1 overall on a 3-fight win streak. What else do we have here? So, he was due. Well, this actual fight, right? Him against Brando was actually going to take place in this year's Contender Series, but they have elevated it to this card. Now, I'm assuming one of them has a Australian connection, maybe. Last time out, right, he fought in January this year. He beat Rafael Brewster, first round stoppage. He then fought 3 times in October. No, 3 times in October, 3 times in 2024. All of them were first round stoppages. All of them, right? He fought in February, August, and October. So he does stay busy. And then his pro debut was December 2023. He got a first round guillotine. Right, so he hasn't got out of the first round yet, which, in his amateur career, he did go to the second round twice, but that is it, right? That is it. He actually beat Matt Raposo, right? And Mark Raposo, who Mark is in the UFC, I do believe, or we've seen him on a Contender Series. I do, yeah. I cannot remember. Let's just have a quick look, because that name does ring a bell. No, there must be two people with that same name. Anyway, people, right? Yes, so Snake Panther is going up against Brando. Gosh, man, if only people had names I could pronounce. Brando Peričić, right? The Balkan Bear. He's 31, 6'5". Right, so a little bit more information for him. He's currently 4-1 overall on a 2-fight win streak. And yes, he is from Australia. So that makes sense why they moved this fight. Okay, and he's from City Kickboxing. Again, another big reason right there. Okay, so we last saw him November, right, 2024. He got a first round stoppage over Oren Kenny. He also fought in October 2024 and April 24. Right, in October, he got a first round stoppage over Tumakono Phillips. And then in April, he beat Kelvin Fitau by a rear naked choke first round. Right, his pro debut was in 2019, November, first round stoppage over Ricky Bouchoun. He had, as far as the records show, he made, these aren't always comprehensive, but he had 2 amateur fights, and both first round stoppages. So, yeah. I mean, this is they're very close, right? He's 4-1. Ellison is 5-1. So yeah, they're very close on the records. It's a good matchup. You know what I mean? It's a good matchup. Now, I think, people, right, I'm gonna go with Ellison. And that, now, look, coming from City Kickboxing, the training will be good, right? They're in a room with killers. Robert Whittaker now trains there. You know what I mean? So they've got so many different looks, right? So many different looks. But I think I'm going to go with Ellison just because he's fighting more regularly. He's already fought this year. So it's just, he's going to feel probably a bit looser out there. Right? Now, with Brando, there may be the pressure of fighting at home. Right? That can be a pressure. That can sometimes also be the boost that helps elevate you. It's hard to tell with these things. They're both debuting, so they're both going to have potentially the same feelings going into the cage. But yeah, due to the activity, I'm going Ellison. So we have our second, and I think it's our sole, just the only other ladies fight on the card, right? And this time we jump to the Bantamweights, right? We have Michelle Montague against Luna Carolina. And this is another very good fight, right? Michelle the wild one, Montague. She is 31, 5'9", with a 69-inch reach. Right? She is currently 6-0 on a 6-fight win streak. She's from New Zealand, so it makes sense to put her on the card, right? This is her debut, a UFC debut. She's coming from American top team, so 6 fights, but again, she's someone in a room full of killers, right? Great training partners. She went 4-0 in the PFL, 1-0 in Bellator. So she's fought on, a biggish stage, as it were, right? Last time out, she fought twice in 2024, in June and August. In August, she got a rear naked choke against Marila Morisa. And in June, she beat Carolina Subek, also with a rear naked, and also in the first round. In 2023, she fought twice, and guess what? 2 rear naked chokes, both in the second round as well. And in 2022, she also fought twice, right, in October and March. And in October, 3rd round rear naked, and in March, 1st round rear naked. That was her pro debut against Olivia Parker. So yes, now she has gone right. As you see, she went to the 3rd round in her 2nd pro fight. In her amateur career, she did go to the 3rd round a few times, had a 5-round championship fight, which she won also. So she has gone the distance, but not much recently, the last time she went further than the first was August 2023. Right, so yes, that is Montague. Now, she is fighting Dread Luna Carolina, right, who is 32, 5'7", 69-inch reach. And she's got 11-4 record overall on a 3-fight win streak. She is 6-3 in the UFC, coming via the Contender Series. We last saw her in July 2024 beat Lucy Padova, unanimous decision. In February 2024, she stopped Julia Stolenko, 3rd round stoppage. She did miss weight in that fight, we should point out. So, she does have a lot of UFC experience, right? That's the thing. She's got a lot of UFC experience. She beat Priscilla Cachaer in May 2029. That was her debut, after winning a contract in August 2018 on the Contender Series. That was a fun fight, right? So I think she is the more seasoned of the two, right? She's had more fights, obviously. She's good. She's really good. I do enjoy watching her fight, and because of the experience, everything like that, and she does bring it. She is vicious out there, right? I'm going with Luna to get the win. So we stick with the bantamweights, but just move to the men. We have Colby Thicknesse against Josias Musasa. All right, so the KO wizard Josias Musasa, he is 26, 5'8" with a 74-inch reach. He's got an 8-1 record. Now he's coming off a loss in his last outing, right? That was his UFC debut. He came via the Contender Series, right? He lost to Carlos Vera March this year. Yeah, it was a rear naked choke in the first round. He missed weight for that fight as well. If I remember, he came out real fast, but got caught. Now, before that, right, he's had some big wins. A flying knee in the first round in June 2024, which got him the fight on the Contender Series. You know? Yeah, like all of his pro fights up to that point were stoppages, right? He was running through people. First round mostly as well. So he's got those heavy hands, right? Now, he's going against Colby, the Slickness Thicknesse, right? He is 26, 5'7", 69-inch reach, 7-1 record overall, also coming off a loss. And he is a Australian native. He's, that loss was also his UFC debut, right? That was in February this year. That was the fight against Ilya's brother, Alexandra Topuria. Now, that was a short notice affair. So it will be interesting to see what he can do off of an actual camp, right? Like Musasa, he's been stopping people, right? Been murking people, you know? In his last 3 fights, right? All of them, you know, before his UFC debut, I should point out, all of them have been stoppages via elbow, ground and pound, and he had a rear naked choke as well, right? They were all in 2024, right? July, October, and November. Also in 2024, he had a unanimous decision in March. So, definitely well-rounded. Does like a rear naked choke, right? That seems to be his submission of choice. You know, got a good few in his amateur career as well. So this should be a really good fight, right? Man, I will say the matchmakers do a really good job of putting these things together. You know, they're very well matched. I do like Josias though. I think I'm going Josias. You know. Now, oftentimes the home team do their thing, right? But yeah, I'm going against Josias, right? So I think Thicknesse would be the third Australian at that point. But yes, our next one is the lightweight. We have Jamie Mullarkey against Rolando Bedoya. This one should be a good one, right? So Rolando Bedoya, the machine. He's 28, 5'11", 75.2 inch reach. He's got a 14-4 record overall, and he's currently on a 3-fight losing streak, unfortunately for him. He hasn't won yet in the UFC. So this is a make or break fight for him. Right? Last time out, he lost to Jay Herbert. That was August 2024. In 2023, August, he lost to Keenan Song. And in May 2023, he lost to Chaos Williams. All of these were decisions. And the Williams fight was a split. Right? Yeah, outside the UFC, right? He had a Darce choke, had a 3rd round stoppage, had some good results. Obviously, that's what got him to the big show, right? He just hasn't been able to, show the same, right? But he has fought 3 very good opponents. Right, and this time out, it's no different. He's going up against Jamie Mullarkey, right? 31, 6 foot, 74-inch reach. He's got a 17-8 record overall. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. So he's could be make or break for him as well. He is 5-6 in the UFC. Right, last time out, right, May 2024, 1st round stoppage to Mauricio Rufy, and that Rufy, beast, right? Now, we know Rufy on his last outing, he didn't look the same, but before that, Rufy was murking people, and Mullarkey was one of them. Right, and then in 2023, he fought 4 times. Now, one of those was a win, right? He beat Francisco Prado in February. But then in June, he lost to Mohamed Naimov. And in September, he did beat John Madesi. But then in December, he lost to Nasrat Hasparas, 1st round stoppage. So that's what happened with him. Right? He also lost to Jalen Turner in March 2022. His UFC debut was against Brad Riddell. That was October 2019. He lost that. Then he lost his next fight against Faraz Ziam in October 2020. Both extremely good, right? He beat Karma Worthy. He beat Devontae Smith. He beat Michael Johnson with split decision, right? Francisco Prado beat him. So he has had good wins. It's just been a bit, rubbish of late for him. But he fights out of a good camp. I do believe after losing to Brad Riddell, he does go and train with the City Kickboxing boys. I do believe, So he's getting good training. And I think because of that, right, I am going with Mullarkey to turn things around and get the win, right? So I'm not prejudiced against the Australians. You know what I mean, people? Don't come at me, All right, so because we lost the Metcalf-Elliott fight, our next fight should be the middleweight clash between Cameron Rowston and Andre Petroski. Right, so where are we? So the Battle Giraffe, Cameron Rowston, the Battle Giraffe. Now that's a nickname, all right? I don't think you're going to find anyone else with that nickname, He's 36'3", okay? Right, 75-inch reach. I mean, he has to be quite tall to have the giraffe nickname. You're not going to be called giraffe if you're 5'4", are you? He's got a 12-3 record overall. He's on a 4-fight winning streak. And he's also from Australia, Sydney, to be precise. All right. He is making his UFC debut. He's coming via the Contender Series, right? He fought in the Contender twice. First time, right? First time was August 2024. He lost to Torres Finney, you know? But he went back to the regionals, got 3 wins. 3 good wins, a calf slicer, rear naked, and a decision, right? Got him another fight on a Contender, and he got a first round stoppage against Brandon Holmes, which got him the contract, you know? So, yeah, right? He does like a rear naked choke. That does seem to be submission of choice when you look at his record, right? He's got a good few first round knockouts as well, right? So he does have hands, you know, but he is going up against Andre Petroski, right? Petroski's 34, 6 foot, 73-inch reach. He's got a 13-4 record overall, and he is coming off of a loss in his last fight, right? Yeah, he's 8-3 in the UFC. His last time out, he lost to Edmund Shabazian. That was June this year. He does have a big win over Rodolfo Vieira, right? That was February last year. He then beat Dylan Bucker in 2024, September. July 2024, he beat Josh Friend. You know, both very good fights, right? Did lose to Jacob Malcone and Michael Pereira. Beat Jared Marchart, which is a very good win. You know, Marchart is a vet, right? So he's competed in a lot of CFFC grappling fights, right? He's lost a few, but he has won some. He beat Eric Anders. He beat Ovincent Prue, right? He beat Phil Hawes. So he does have those. He got an anaconda in the UFC as well. So, you know what I mean? He's got skills. He does have skills. And he also does have aspirations. You know what I mean? Does have aspirations of greatness. So, yeah, he came via the Ultimate season. He was on the same season as Brian Battle, who he lost to, you know, in the semi-final, I think it was. Right? So, yeah. You know, Petroski is good. Right? Petroski is good. And I think, you know what I mean? Look, he's fought 11 times in the UFC. You know what I mean? He's knocked people out. He's subbed people. I think his experience, and also he's very skillful too, right? He can gas out at times, but he's been working on that for sure. So I think it's going to be a hard debut for the Battle Giraffe. I'm going with Petroski for the win, right? And our headlining fight in the prelims, we're with the light heavyweight once more. We have Navajo Stirling against Rodolfo Bellato. And yes, traitor Rodolfo Bellato. He's 29, 6'3", 77.5-inch reach, right? He's 12-2-1 with 1 no contest. He's on a 4-fight win streak, but also with the no contest in his last outing. right? He went 4-0 in LFA. He's 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 no contest in the UFC. And he came via the Contender Series, right? On his second time, he got the contract, right? And so that no contest was against Paul Craig. That was in June this year. Yeah, that was a whole... I think it was a low blow, right? And look, people were saying that he, kind of pussied out, essentially. Look, it was a low blow. I believe it was a low blow, or maybe it was an eye poke, but only he knows. You know what I mean? I do think it was a eye poke, actually, but only he knows. But yeah, that's what happened. And the thing was, that was coming off of the draw, right? He drew against Jimmy Crute in February last year. So he does want to, show a better foot, as it were, now. Right? Now, his UFC debut, he got a second round stoppage against Ior Pretoria. That was December 2023, and he got a second round stoppage against Mortaza Tala on the Contender Series to get his contract. So, there are those, right? We know he can stop people, right? He's got first round stoppages. He's got some submissions, right? Leg locks, rear naked, triangle. So he's got skills, for sure. He's got skills. He's the amateur career, right? You do kind of go, who were these against, right? So the Motas fight, the Petronio fight, right? All of these, like, how good was that opposition? That's the big thing, right? So it's difficult to look at the career outside the UFC. So I think, although he's got slightly more experience, Navajo Stirling does look good. Stirling, he's 27, 6'4", 79-inch reach. He's 7-0 overall on a 7-fight win streak. Right, he's fighting out of City Kickboxing. Came to the UFC via the Contender Series. He's fought twice on the big stage. Right, he beat Tusho Tokus in December 2024. And then he beat Ivan Erslan in May this year. Both decisions. He looked good in both of those fights. Right, on the Contender Series, he got a second round stoppage over Philippe Latou. And outside of that, a lot of finishes. Right, a lot of finishes. He's also fought in kickboxing and Muay Thai. So, that's a big thing, right? It looks like he is a novice, but he does have an extensive kickboxing career, I do believe. And I do think his skill set does get him the win over Rodolfo Bellato. And this should be a really good fight, people, that takes us to the main card. So, yeah, let's move over to that.